Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica. If you didn't already know me, yeah, let's just get right into this. I don't like very long intros, so I'm not gonna be that person, and I'm just gonna get right into my story. So this story is obviously about my teen pregnancy, and although I wasn't like a very young teen, I was still a teenager and I still didn't know what I was doing. So I guess let's rewind. When I was in high school, I met my husband very early on. I was 16 and we were together. We were boyfriend and girlfriend for 2 years. So 16, 17, 18. I graduated very early. I graduated mid-year of my senior year, and I was 17 when I graduated. So I had a whole year to myself, basically. And because I couldn't go to college right away because I still needed to like get my high school diploma and like get everything, like my transcript and all that to get into college. So I didn't get pregnant until my first semester in college. So I waited until August. But before that, when we were in high school, basically my husband, or my boyfriend at the time, he asked for my hand in marriage to my mom, and he was like I really want to marry her, we would like your permission to get married. We were so little. And she was like, no way. Basically, she was like, no way. No, look, you guys love each other. Wait 2 more years. If y'all want to spend the rest of your lives together, y'all can wait 2 years. You have my permission to get married in 2 years. So with that in mind, we were 17. No, I was 18. So she was like, 2 more years. When you're 20, you can get married. And we were like, no, like we don't want to wait that long. So we were like, we weren't happy with what she had said, and we're just like, wow. And the thing is, like, I felt really wrong. I felt really bad, and so did he. Like, me and him both, we grew up in a Christian home, so we knew what was right, what was wrong, and we were always taught, like, basically the 10 Commandments. You shall not commit adultery. So we were in an intimate relationship. We were having intimacy. We were, and so we felt really bad at doing so. So we were always taught, like, you have to do that with the person that you love, that you truly love. And that's exactly what we were doing. We were committing adultery. We were having intimacy. Like, that's adultery. And so we felt really bad at doing so. We knew we were sinning and it was bad, and our parents didn't know, because we were sneaky like that. Anyways, but if my kids try to do that, oh baby, I know all the tricks. I know everything. Anyways, so we were committing adultery and we felt bad about it. And so thus the reason why we wanted to get married. So I've heard, like, basically this is what happens all the time. Like, people have kids together, so like they're obligated to be together. Like, oh no, you have to be with him. Like, the parents automatically, like, you have to be together. So like that was my parents. That's how my mom was. Like, if you do that, no, you have to be together. Because, I mean, you're bringing a baby into this world. Like, y'all can't just, like, make the baby and then, like, have it suffer because the dad doesn't want to be there, or the mom doesn't want the dad to be there. Like, so that's how my mom thought. And so me and my boyfriend were like, okay, so we can't get married. Obviously, they said no. So the only way that we could get married is if we get pregnant. Like, if I get pregnant, that's the only way we can get married. So we got pregnant in order to get married, and we did want kids. Like, we always talked about having kids. But we always wanted it to be like we wanted to get married and then go to school together and have our kid maybe like in 2 years. We didn't want to be older parents. We wanted to be young parents. But my mom ruined the plan. My mom ruined the plan because she told us that we couldn't get married. So we're like, the only way we can get married is if I get pregnant. So that's what we did. I got pregnant. And man, it was not how I had pictured it in my mind. I had missed my period, but I was irregular. So I was like, everything's normal. But I was like, just for the sake of it, like I'm just gonna, just like to put my mind at ease. Not at ease. Well, it's because, okay, I was dreading it, but I wasn't. Like, I remember talking to myself and like hearing my conscience tell me like, do you really want to be pregnant? And I was just like, no. But then I was like, yes, I do. And I'm like, wait, no, I don't. Oh no, yes, I do. So like it was kind of like a bittersweet moment. Like I did want to, but I knew the harm that it would make. And it's not that the baby will make like harms you. What I'm saying is like it would harm my mom. I would make her feel disappointed in me. I would hurt my, like affect my career. Like it would slow me down. I started thinking like, where is he gonna work? He's like, where is he gonna work? Like what is gonna happen? So I remember thinking that to myself, but I was like, I do want to get pregnant. So, oh, I was crazy. I said I did want to get pregnant. And so I went to Walgreens or CVS, wherever I went, and I got some pregnancy tests. So I think like the first one I got was First Response, and I tried them and it came out positive, and I was like, no. So then I went again and I got a different brand. I got the Blue Cross, Clear Blue. Came out positive. And I told my boyfriend about it, and he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm like, well, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna make sure. So like, he was like, no, you are pregnant, whatever. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go to a different clinic and I'm gonna get a pregnancy test done there. So I went to a clinic where they were doing like, they were giving out free pregnancy tests. But I didn't know it was urine. Cause I was like, no, like I know those come out positive, like no. So they did a urine, they're like, yeah, congratulations, you're pregnant. And I was like, okay, thanks. And my cousin had taken me that day because I didn't want to go by myself. So I told her, no, let's go to a different clinic. So I went to a different clinic to get blood work done. And I go to that clinic and I get blood work done. We wait 15 minutes for it to come back. And yeah, I was pregnant. And I was like in shock. I was so surprised. Like I didn't even know what to think. And they gave me a little paper that confirmed my pregnancy, and they referred me to like an OBGYN. And so yeah, so I had the letter with me, and I already had an appointment. So I have that letter that says, you know, Jessica Salazar is pregnant. And I was like, how am I gonna tell my mom? Like, how am I gonna tell her? She's gonna be so disappointed in me. Where am I gonna live? His parents lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. So my husband shared a room with his brother. I'm like, where are we gonna stay? I know my mom's gonna, like, first thing she's gonna do is she's gonna kick me out. Where are we gonna go? Like, I'm not gonna share a room with him and his brother. Like, that's weird. So, like, everything was, like, going through my mind. And every time my mom got from work, she would always go up to my room and she would check up on me. Just like, oh, hi, baby. Like, how are you doing? Whatever. So that day, she comes into my room and she's like, she just starts conversating with me. And I'm like in shock. I'm just like sitting there like super worried, not knowing whether I should tell her or not. And like she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. And she's like, I know something's wrong. I know when something's wrong with you, just tell me. And I'm just like, fine, I'm gonna tell you, but promise me you're not gonna get mad. Promise me you're not gonna get mad. And she's like, what is it? And I was like, no, you have to promise first. Promise me you're not gonna get mad. Please promise me. And she's like, yes, I promise. Tell me. And I don't know why, but like the first thing that came to my mind, I didn't want to tell her yet. So like I just like blurted something out, and I was like, I killed somebody. And I started crying. I told her I hit somebody. I ran somebody over. And she was like, what? And I tell her again, and she starts crying. She's like, stop, Jessica, you're scaring me. Like, don't. And I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. So I'm like crying, and I start laughing but crying. So I'm like making this ugly face. I'm like, like trying to laugh and cry at the same time. And she's like, you're pregnant, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And I gave her the little paper, and she sees it, and she just like puts it down, and she leaves. And she didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks that my mom decides to talk to me, she didn't talk to me, but she talked to me, and she told me to tell my grandparents. And my grandparents are like parents to me. They basically raised me. My mom had always worked, and my mom was a single mom for a while. And yeah, so my grandparents, they raised me, and I was always there. They've always lived with my mom because of that reason. And so like I had to tell them. I had to tell them that I was pregnant, and she was like, go tell them. And I'm like, why can't you? Like I was more scared to tell my grandparents than I was to tell her. And it's not that I was scared. I was scared to disappoint them, my mom. And I was more scared to disappoint my grandparents. So I go downstairs, and my mom calls me like, oh, Jessica wants to tell you something. And I'm just like sitting there, and then like I just tell them like I'm sorry, but I'm pregnant. And like I had never seen my grandpa cry. So like seeing him cry was like, it broke my heart. Seeing him like that. And my grandma too. It broke my heart. That's what had happened. So I told them. And it was like that for like another 2 weeks. And my mom didn't talk to me again. Like after that, she just didn't talk to me. And she's like, what are you gonna do? That's how she would tell me, all mad at me. Like, what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go? Because you can't be here all the time. What are you and Ricky gonna do? What are you gonna do? What do you have planned? Are you gonna get married? What are you gonna do? Y'all have to get married. So we went and we got our marriage license. And after a couple of weeks later, I guess my mom gets over it. And she's like, are you gonna have a wedding? I'm like, no, we're not. We're just gonna get married through the court. And so then my mom's like, no, like, you deserve a wedding. And I'm like, I don't deserve anything. So, but yeah, so she decides to throw me a wedding. And it's usually the guy's side that usually like does everything. Like the guy is supposed to pay for everything. So like if the guy can't, like that's how it works in my family. I don't know how it works in other places, but like if the guy can't pay wedding, like his family does it. But in this case, my family was doing it. Oh, and like flashback, whenever like we barely got married, my parents said like, no, we're not gonna be there for you guys. Y'all are on your own. And his parents were like, we're gonna be there for y'all, like, you know, you have our support, blah blah blah. So like his family seemed like to be the one that was gonna be there the most. And so like when she tells me that, she's like, I'm gonna throw your wedding. But she also had that in mind, so she's like, you know, I'm gonna talk to your in-laws and like tell them about it, and maybe we can both cooperate and like throw your wedding. So she asked my in-laws, and they said yes, like they would help. And so then wedding drama happens, and they said they were gonna help out with X amount, and my mom was gonna put in the rest of the amount. It got to a point where that's all we needed. Like what they said they were gonna buy was all we had left to buy. So we're like, you know, the wedding is almost here. We have everything set up. All we need is whatever you said you were gonna help out with. And they were like, yeah, like, yeah. So like they made us go back and forth to different, oh, we're at the bank. So we would go to the bank and like, oh no, we're at our apartment now. Like they wouldn't answer me. His mom wouldn't answer me. She's like, oh, I'm at the apartment. So we went to the apartment. She wasn't there. And then she's like, oh, I'm over here. And we went, and we're like, okay, look, we're not gonna be going up and down. Like we have stuff to do. And at the end, it was his mom and his dad, my in-laws and my mom, and like they were like, we're not gonna help. He doesn't deserve it. He's not gonna be a good father. He's not gonna be a good husband. He doesn't know how to do anything. Like they just started putting him down and making him look bad and saying that they weren't gonna help because he doesn't deserve anything. Like my mom was like, I know they don't deserve it, but they're our children, and like we already talked about this. I know they don't deserve it, but like it's your kid, it's your son. How are you gonna talk about your son like that? I was gonna talk to my husband and, you know, talk to him first to make sure he wants to get married. And my mom's like, well, if you're talking about your son like that he's not gonna be good this and he's not a good that, then no, my daughter needs to have some time to think about your son, because I don't want my daughter just to get married with whoever just because she's pregnant. And like the way he said it is what messed everything up. Like I was like, are you serious? Like he said he was going to be there for us, and now he's telling my husband, or my boyfriend at the time, to think about marrying me. Like I was like, what? So it messed up the relationship not only with me and my husband, it messed up the relationship with me and my in-laws. And I was just like, how could you say that? Like, how could you say that? How could you do that? So I was like, man, like, you know what? Forget it. And like, I canceled the wedding that day. I called it off. I told my husband, like, I'm not gonna marry you. First of all, I can't believe your parents did that. And supposedly we were gonna have all their support. What about now? I'm like, now, where are we gonna live? I was like, I'm sure I'm not gonna live with your parents. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And so that day, my husband got in a fight with his parents, and he left, and he went to my dad, and all this, and my mom was like, it's not his fault, blah, blah, blah. So like, I guess, and when my husband got mad at his parents for what they had said, they didn't say anything about it, and they were like, here, like, have the money, and then they were giving him the money and stuff, and at the end, I don't think we got all the money, but we got some from his parents. And so that's how that went. And like our first year of being married, well, not our first year, but the rest of the months that I was pregnant and we had barely gotten married, it was like such a huge problem, like with his family. Like all our problems like went back to them. We never like argued because of us. It was always because of them. And I don't know. And his dad had given him a car. He's like, I'm gonna give you a car. And so we were excited, you know. I'm like, oh, that's good, because he like owns a car shop. So he was like, I'm gonna give y'all a car, you know, to help y'all out, whatever. And we were so excited. We're like, yes, like we're gonna have our own car, because my mom had taken mine away. She was like, no, that's my car. And So he gave us like this really, really old car, and it would break down all the time. It would leave us stranded everywhere. And it didn't have AC, so we were like burning up all the time. It was super hot, and then it would just start heating up. The car would heat up, and it was just crazy. And like one time his dad got a car, and we really liked it. It wasn't like all that great, but it was a better car than what we had. And my husband asked him like, hey, like, could you sell it to me out in payments? Like, I'll pay it. I need a car. Like, we need a car. And his dad would just ignore him. Like, he wouldn't answer him. That was basically a no. And because he never did. So until my mom gave me the car back, it's like, this is for you guys, like, you know, because she saw, like, once she saw us struggle, she would help. And like whenever we got married, we're like, where y'all gonna stay? We're like, I don't know. So my mom had a house for rent that she rented out, so she let us live there. And then with the car, whenever that happened, she let us struggle a little bit, and then she gave us my car, the one I had before. And so I was like, and that's why we had problems, like fights about his parents, because the people that said they were going to be there for us weren't there for us. And like they were just making our life like impossible. Like they were just like adding more stress to our lives, more than we already were stressed. Because not only like he couldn't find a good job that paid him good, I was pregnant, like, and you're just adding more stress. You're affecting our relationship even. So like our fights were always about them and caused by them. And once we got to the hospital and I was about to give birth, his mom wanted to come into the delivery room, and I was like, no, like, how are you gonna say that? Like, first of all, we've had so many problems. Like, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with you looking at my vagina. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable at all. But anyways, when I was in labor, my in-law kept wanting, like, if she were to be, like, if they both had treated me well and everything had gone, you know, if they had been better in-laws, I would have definitely, like, let her come in. But it was really hard. Thank God for my mom and my dad. They gave us a place to stay. They helped us out when nobody else would help us. And it was pretty sad, and especially for my husband, because, you know, that's his parents, and he thought they would be there for us like they said they would, but they weren't. And it was really hard. It was really hard because also with like his job, he was working at a place with his dad where like his uncle was paying him like $200 a week, and we're like, that's not gonna cut it. $200 a week, who gets paid $200 a week? Like, knowing, and that's the thing is, like, they're family, knowing that he's husband now and a soon-to-be father, and like, how are you gonna be paying him $200 a week? So like, he finally found another job, and like everything, as like super close to having Mia, everything was, it started like to fall into place. He found a job that paid him really good. My mom was like, I don't want you to live there by yourself. Like, she made me a little apartment in the back of her house, and everything turned out a-okay for us. Throughout the pregnancy, it definitely was not a walk in the park for me. It was really hard, but things got easier, things got better for us, but that's it. That was my whole story of my experience being pregnant and what I went through, and that's it, you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.